We just got the 11 o'clock update on Tropical Storm Melissa. Now, this storm has been struggling thus far to intensify much. You can see the center of circulation versus where the thunderstorm action is. It's kind of lopsided. We're seeing on the western side of it, we don't have a lot of thunderstorm activity around it, but on the eastern side of it, really deep tropical moisture working in play. But what is going to change is that between now and really the start of the weekend is we're going to lose the factors that would limit intensification. So wind shear and dry air. We're not going to be dealing with any of that this weekend. It's just going to be in a warm, moist environment with a lack of wind shear. So models have been hinting for a couple of days that rapid intensification would be possible. So it is no surprise that, hurricane hunters out investigating this right now have not found much stronger winds, but that's going to change as we go forward through tomorrow, and then Saturday and Sunday this thing could really take off. A couple of planes have been flying into this. One of the planes right now has clocked a wind speed so far of 51 miles an hour. That's at flight level, so they adjust it for what the surface winds likely are. Another one of those planes just now into it, kind of doing their little flower shape where they dissect it in different areas. They have not gotten to those peak winds yet, but that's something that could happen. There are no changes with this advisory to the tropical alerts, but I'll just go over them again. Jamaica looks to get hit probably with the highest impact in terms of the wind speeds that we could see based on Melissa's current track. They're under a tropical storm warning. That's in the blue color. You also notice a pink outline on the map. That is a hurricane watch in effect. Now, we also have a hurricane watch for the southern half of Haiti. So that includes just from the Dominican Republic border all the way over to Port-au-Prince, which is in that kind of cove on the western side of it. So that entire peninsula is under a hurricane watch, and it really depends on where this storm ultimately ends up going. And here's the interesting thing. We're losing the steering currents. So it's just kind of meandering around for the time being. And then we see that by the end of the weekend and start of next week, we start to get steering currents that drag Melissa in the northeastern direction. But in the meantime, look at this jumbled mess of spaghetti for the next couple of days. I'll actually take these spaghetti models out. So through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's not moving much. And then by Monday of next week, it's getting kicked to the east, and that will finally take it out of there. But between now and Sunday time frame, it is meandering and getting stronger. So is it going to meander well offshore, or is it going to meander really close to the cone line, to the coastline rather in Jamaica? That's still what is to be determined, and that's why it's so crucial that these hurricane hunter missions are going out very consistently, getting the best information so we can have the most accurate forecast. Here's the latest cone of uncertainty. I'm going to back it up so you can see. It's moving northwest right now, north-northwest at 2 miles per hour. 2 miles per hour. We are walking at a faster pace than that, okay? So it's moving slower than the average speed of how a human walks. All right, so through Friday, it's moving north. Then we start seeing that curve to the west over the weekend. And as it curves westward, the possibility of rapid intensification this weekend becomes much more likely. So the Hurricane Center has this becoming a hurricane by Saturday, then by Sunday becoming a major hurricane, and then capping out as a Category 4 hurricane very close to or just south of Jamaica. So Jamaica watching this storm intensely closely. In addition to the wind potential, of course, storm surge becomes a mega lash as you have these systems that are pushing walls of water up along the coast. And then it's got a lot of rain. It's down in the Caribbean. It's got a lot of deep tropical moisture with it. So the rainfall amounts in Jamaica through Hispaniola, including Haiti and the Dominican Republic, could be 6 to 12 inches, locally higher than that. When you add that on top of very mountainous terrain, that could lead to flash flooding. That can lead to mudslides. So a really significant threat of flooding unfolds over the coming days as Melissa is nearly stalled out just south of Hispaniola and Jamaica. And then as we see this moving to the north next week, that will take the rainfall threat out. But for now, this is the cone of uncertainty from 11 o'clock, the update from the National Hurricane Center. Winds of 45 miles per hour for Tropical Storm Melissa right now. But in the coming days, the ingredients come together for rapid intensification, and in a big way that starts to strengthen this system. I'll try to visualize it for you. This is the European model. Watch it as we go through the next couple of days, just starting to get a better structure, better eye wall, and the lines of constant pressure, we start to see more of those, meaning it is strengthening, it's deepening. This is just by Saturday, so I've put the time stamp on here so you can see Saturday, the center of it's still offshore, but at this point over the weekend, as it's steered to the west-northwest, big time increase in intensity is likely. So for now, it of course is bringing rain to some of those areas, but then watch the pressure just really take off here. Saturday during the day, it just starts exploding and rapidly intensifying. So Tropical Storm Melissa is a tropical storm right now. It is expected to become a major hurricane by the end of the weekend.